everybody, your last comic for the evening, your last comic for 2013. Sweet Tara stand-up, Mr. Lew Morgante.
This is the end, my friends. This is it. So I'm here to make you feel better about you. So you're welcome. You're going to go into this new year feeling a little bit better about yourself, thanks to stories that I'm going to tell you about me. You'll thank me later. I went to a bachelor party a few years back, and the bachelor party was in New Jersey. So right away we're in two terrible things. Bachelor party, New Jersey. And the bachelor party was happening in a restaurant, in the basement of a restaurant. So you're just realizing the scale of creepiness and weirdness that is coming with this whole situation. So I go to this bachelor party, and I get there, and my buddy who's running it is like, "Hey, I got some strippers." Now remember, it's a bachelor party in New Jersey in a restaurant basement. These weren't just strippers. They were like hooker strippers. I don't know how it goes. Like, I don't know, is there an actual assignment to the name when it's like that? But that's what they were. And back then, my life wasn't going as good as it is now. In fact, it's just a fucking saying. So I really wasn't going through a really good time in my life. So we're at this bachelor party, and one of my buddies decides that to make me feel better about myself, he was going to give some money to the stripper hookers to go take care of some business with me so I can feel better about myself. Now, I took him up on the offer because Mama raised a fool, not a damn fool. And like I said, my life wasn't going so well. So I went into this back storeroom of this basement of a restaurant with this stripper hooker. And I'm standing in the storage room, and I'm looking, and it's cold, and it's dark, and it's dank, and weird. And she's just like, "All right, have a seat." So I grabbed a chair out of this storage room, and I was about to sit down. She's like, take your pants off." I'm like, "Oh, okay." And it's cold, and it's dark, and it's dank. And I sit down on this chair from this weird storage room in New Jersey, and it's cold, and it's kind of itchy on my butt. I'm very uncomfortable. And before this situation, I had realized I was not prepared for this situation. So I had to go and borrow a rubber from a friend, which is an awkward conversation. It's like I was like, "Hey, you have an extra one." It wasn't like, "Oh, you're done with that? Here you go. Let's just go tip to tip." I didn't roll it off of him onto me. I said, "All right, let's do this shit." Like, I was like, "Hey, I'm ill prepared for the situation that's gonna happen. Can I borrow one?" And so I'm sitting there, and I put it on. She just looks at me. She goes, "All right, here we go." Because that's, I guess, how it starts. And like something inside my body just went, "No, this isn't your deal, dude. You don't want this." And with that, like something like just pulled the switch in my body, like, "Oh, let's do the switch." And just everything powers down in my body. Everything. and it's cold, and it's dark, and now I've got this little party hat. It almost looks like a little bishop's hat. Maybe like a little racist Klansman hood, just sitting on this shriveled up, cold, scared thing. And I'm just like, this is a fucking nightmare. And I gotta give it to her because she's a true professional. You ever see someone try to start an old lawnmower after like a season of not using that lawnmower, where they're just out there just tugging on the lawnmower as hard as they can? I'm gonna get this lawnmower started. This is what this woman was doing on her knees, just poor woman just pulling as hard as she could, like trying to get this lawnmower started. And she's trying to have a conversation with me to make me feel more comfortable, which is making me more uncomfortable. She's like, is it because you have a girlfriend? And I'm like, do you think I'm going to be in this situation right now if I had a girlfriend? Do you think I'm going to let my buddy buy me a blowjob in the back of a restaurant fucking basement? No, of course I don't have a girlfriend. Like, I don't want to have this conversation. And she's trying, and she's looking me in the eyes, and me and her dead eyes just meet, and I'm just like, I can't do this. I just stand up. I'm like, I can't do this. And I reach into my pants. I don't even pull them up. I just reach into my pocket. I just grab a wad of money out of my pocket, and I just give it to her. Now, this was already paid for. This was more of me just paying her off out of my own humility, like, Jesus, please don't tell anyone. And she's just sitting, she takes it, and she goes, oh, it's okay. And she gets up, and she hugs me. And it was the first time I realized I was the saddest person in that room at that moment. Not the woman who was selling her soul to give me a blowjob. No, I was the guy that the hooker stripper felt bad for. And I'm just like, we gotta get out of here. Please don't tell anyone. I pulled up my pants and I run out into the bar, and I go to the bar and I immediately just start drinking as much and as fast as I can. It's like, my buddy who paid for it comes up to me and goes, hey, how did it go? I'm like, oh, it went fine. It went fine. Let's just keep drinking. Let's just keep drinking. And at the end of the night, I'm leaning against the wall because I'm wasted, and I hear the hooker stripper say, oh, well, I'm gonna leave. And I'm like, great, she's going. She's like, but before I leave, I have to say goodbye to somebody. And I'm like, please be saying goodbye to the groom. We had a deal. And with like some kind of weird hooker stripper radar, she's like, she found me from across the room. Now these are people I know, just strewn across this room, and she's sprinting towards me, and I'm like, you bitch. We had an agreement. You made way much more money for nothing! And she comes running up to me, and again hugs me in front of all these people I know, and whispers in my ear, the next time I see you, it's on me. I don't know if you know how sad of a statement that is. When a hooker stripper offers you a freebie. That's not good in the hoeing game. I'm just letting you know that right now. That's not something they do. Okay? So again, this is just that saddest moment. I'm just like, oh my God. How many people feel better about themselves so far? All right, thank you. Half the room. Not so much yet, not so much. Okay.